Welcome to Touchpoints TV. I'm Debbie House, editor of Retail Touchpoints, and I'm here with two of our editors, Claudia Tarico and Glenn Taylor. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, thanks.
It's the end of day 2 of NRF 17, and we're just going to chat about some of our insights from today. So one of the key technologies that we're hearing so much about, and of course CES was last week, is virtual reality. And so I got to experience some virtual reality today when I was with the folks from SAS, and they're experimenting with some technologies that are really more about behind the scenes, helping to analyze in-store activity from a different perspective. So I got to visit a store using virtual reality and the analytics around store activity, who are the best shoppers, if there are any incidences in the store such as products are misplaced, and so it was kind of a fun experience. I was a little dizzy afterwards, but it was it was an interesting experience, and I think it's definitely something that's going to get more and more saturated into the industry. So that's the behind the scenes. We hear so much about the customer facing uses of virtual reality. One of the things that I also asked them about, though, was augmented reality and how that might also play a role. So I think that, it's not going to be one or the other. I think it's going to be both, from both behind the scenes and also from customer facing. I'm also having a lot of conversations with retailers and solution providers about what's happening, not just with our US-based retail companies, but those that are based in Europe and Asia Pacific and other countries around the world, and what their specific challenges are, and how they're engaging in customer engagement strategies. So, for example, in China, it's all about mobile, and they're dealing with trying to customer engagement from that mobile perspective. And so, when solution providers who are now working with companies around the world are engaging and thinking about how they're going to help those companies improve their retail strategies, there are a lot of things to consider. In the UK right now, Brexit is having a really important impact.
Yeah.
I think other countries are dealing with Amazon's entrance into their arenas. So there's so many different factors, and I think that it's something that we also, from a media standpoint, need to be thinking more about the details about global commerce, not just from the U.S. perspective. And finally, I presented a few customer engagement awards today to executives from both Serta Simmons and Books-A-Million, and these are both interesting categories, and that mattresses and media, where they're traditional categories that have been, really have to be challenged in finding new ways to engage customers. They both received customer engagement awards from us, and they're using mobile and other types of technology in a lot of different ways to sustain their businesses and be successful in the long term. So hopefully you'll all watch those videos when they come out, because it was really fun to talk about how some of these more traditional retail categories are going to be successful in the long term.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my high level for today. What about you, Glenn? What have you been up to?
Sure. Well, a meeting that really stood out to me today was my meeting with the SoftBank crew and them with the Pepper robot. Now, for those that aren't familiar, it's about a 3-foot tall white robot that basically strolls around a store. That's what it's basically designed to do. It's still in that nascent stage, but it's already in Westfield's malls in San Jose and San Francisco. And for what it does right now, it greets the audience as they walk into the mall and provides some directional maps so they know exactly where to go. And it was in a retailer beta, which is a gadget retailer in San Francisco, which had a 1-week trial in late fall, and the store reported a 70% increase in foot traffic during that week, which is pretty tremendous given, it's only a week span of time. And the engagement with the Pepper robot happened to be 4 times as much as any other product that had been in there. And what was interesting to me is it kind of served as a 3-pronged utility for the customer experience. How you had it serving as basically a sales associate, a brand ambassador, and a concierge. So the idea that people can walk in and at different times of their shopping experience in a store, perhaps run into it and ask for either product information or something that they're seeing right there, or even just kind of looking for extra content, looking for extra ideas of where to go, asking for a different aisle, where to find a product. And while this might not be the actual solution, or this may not be the perfect ideal for what an in-store experience would be, for an assistant, I think it is a great start as far as, retailers looking into seeing how can an in-store assistant really help with this experience in a way that also helps the associates. Because as associates, I mean, they're all still, trying to find their role and run around the store, and if they can be somewhere else in the back office helping while this Pepper robot perhaps gives an idea of where a product is, that can really help out with the store. And I think, obviously, like I said, the jury's still out, but this is very promising for
Some
the future
impressive
going in
statistics,
this year
yeah.
or, into the future, especially seeing the e-commerce analog of that with AI and chatbots.
Right, yeah. We've been talking a lot about that. You did your feature story on the year of the chatbot, so
yeah, I mean,
but it's really some impressive statistics. So I'm really
going on with that.
Yeah, and I saw Pepper too. She's really cool.
Yeah. So what have you been up to today, Claudia?
I actually had a really cool meeting with Manthan Systems, and you know how Amazon has their Alexa and Apple has Siri? Well, they debuted Maya, which is it's basically an Alexa for business analytics. So, you could easily get a business update while you're getting dressed in the morning because it's a virtual assistant. You could talk to it, normal human conversation. Ask them like what the performance highlights were in the morning or what is the most profitable category, and they just literally, it tells you all of the different numbers and stuff just so you could, kind of prep your day. So I thought that was really cool.
Very cool.
Additionally, Kibo Research let out some research, and I thought that it was really interesting when they said that pricing trumps the brand. So consumers are really more interested in the price. It's not really about brand loyalty. If one retailer is offering a better price, they're going to easily go to that. So they said that 70% of consumers said that price is the most important factor. The study also looked into personalization, which I thought was really interesting. So it's not about personalization anymore, it's about individualization.
Okay.
So instead of segmenting customers in a specific group, it's more about treating them as a person and having a more intimate personalization instead of being so broad.
So one-on-one.
More one-on-one, yeah. So that was really interesting. And Steinmart actually presented with Kibo, and they had some really cool stuff going on in their checkout shopping carts, and they updated their PayPal, Express, providing endless scroll and stuff like that. So they're seeing a 31% increase in e-commerce sales because of all these tiny little updates that are doing, that making a big impact. So it's really interesting how little things can make such a big impact in e-commerce.
Yeah, so really all in all, we're talking a lot about new technologies, the AI, the VR, the AR, the robots, and again, in front of the scenes and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's also been really fascinating to hear about some more traditional retail segments and retail types like Steinmart and the Books-A-Million of the world and the mattress companies of the world, and how they're using technology to improve their businesses. And they're sharing some great results. So I think it's going to be it's looking like a really positive year for retail.
Definitely.
So
looking forward to more results.
One more day of NRF tomorrow, and we're looking forward to sharing our insights from that when we see you back here in 24 hours.